Hello everyone. Wait. Let me turn my light on. It's been a long time since I did a podcast. Oh my god. For you it's not been a long time, but I pre-filmed some episodes, so it's been a long time. Hi. If you don't know me, I'm Julia. Why wouldn't you know me? Please do know me if you're on my podcast. Ooh, that is not what we want. Oh, yes. Are we ready? Oh, this is ugly. Shh. Conversations with friends and the voices in my head. Do, 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 do. Have you guys missed me? Be honest. Be honest. Okay, so last time I was here, it was before I went to Madison, before I went and saw my mom, before I did a lot of things, and let's talk about it. So, first of all, I went to my hometown and I shot my first short film, kind of. And it went well, surprisingly. I usually, every time I try to film a final project or an assignment, I plan it out so loosely and then it just never works out in my favor. And all of the angles and all of the shots I plan just don't work out. This time, everything worked out perfectly. And I'm so proud of that. So happy about that. It's on my YouTube. So go check it out. And anyways, second of all, I came back to Istanbul. I showed my mom around and that was really sweet. She liked it, I think. Other than that, I finished my finals. Yeah, I finished finals. A's all around, guys. 3.8 D6 GPA in the house right now. Anyways, so what else did I do? I'm doing some secret things that I don't want to say on here because I'm scared that it's gonna be, what did they say, like nazar değecek, the evil eye or some shit. Anyways, let's continue. Today I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot of things that I would like to mention. Hope this is a quick episode because I just want to get this all out there. So if anyone needs to hear this shit, you just keep listening. First of all, I want to talk about gut feelings, okay? Gut feelings are so important, and we as women have always been told throughout our lives to not listen to our gut feelings. Not in like, no one comes up to you and is like, don't listen to that feeling. But it's been coded into anxiety, into, oh, you're being crazy. Oh, no, you're just overthinking it. No, you're fucking not. Okay? No, you're not. Sometimes, it's a very small percentage of the time that women overthink things. Sometimes. Every fucking episode, my acid reflux hates me. A very small portion of the time that women are just overthinking things and that there's really nothing going on in any type of thing, by the way. It's not just about relationships. It's not just about friendships. Anything. If you have a gut feeling, you should fucking listen to it. Because there's been a million times where I had a gut feeling about something going wrong, something, I don't know, going on behind my back, or you just get a feeling about a friend that they don't really have the best intentions, and I just never listened to them. I'm always like, no, Julia, you're being insane. No, you're being just overly sensitive, overly crazy. You're just making it up in your head. No, you're not. No, you're not. Not most of the time. The amount of times I've listened to my friends rant on about how, oh, they had a feeling about something, but they just didn't act on it, and then their feeling was right. I'd have a lot of money. I don't know. You think that someone's doing something they're not supposed to do, and then you're just right. Or, for example, I had this feeling about this friend that I had, not sure. That, I don't know, like, every time kind of talked to them, they just gave me this off vibe. It wasn't even about like specifically something they did. It was just like why do I feel this way, you know? And every time I tell them about something good that has happened to me, or every time I tell them about something good happening in my life, I just get this like weird feeling of their answers. Like, it wouldn't even be about something they said. It's not some mean thing they did, but it's just like a feeling. And I've talked to multiple people about this, and they all told me they felt the same way. So it's not just me, and I should trust my gut feeling, and I should not keep hanging out with these types of people, for example. This is the first type, I think. A second type of person that does this, in my opinion, is, for example, people who don't support you when you're not there. Like, for example, your friend goes, sits, hangs around with random people, and these random people start talking shit about you. Not even shit, they just start talking about you in not in the most positive light. A, does your friend defend you? B, does your friend sit silent? C, does your friend leave and tell them to shut the fuck up? Only 2 of these options are acceptable, because even if someone is silent around these people, even if they don't contribute to that shitty conversation about you, they're still there. They're still showing their support in their presence. And we don't want that in our lives. I was naive, and I, for a long time, couldn't see the signs that people were not very nice to me all the time. You know what I mean? Like, some people were just passively nice to me, and that doesn't fly anymore. I don't think that should fly anymore. But I'm not saying this in a way like we should cut people off right away, or when someone does one thing wrong, they should be out of our lives. No, I used to think that way, and I don't anymore. I don't think everything should have that much of a sharp edge. I think things can be smoother. I think you can further yourself away from a situation. You don't have to be around these people all the time, but these people could be helpful to you in other areas of your lives. I think that's that about that, because I don't know, I've been just thinking about this a lot, like this, because I've been getting a lot of feelings about a lot of people, and they've all just been true. Like, if, especially, like, I've heard from my friends, a lot of them, like, they think something's going on, they ask about it, and then it turns out it's true. Like, so please listen to your senses. You are made to think that you are crazy for having these gut feelings, but they're mostly true. So if you think, you are. My second point of the day, I talked about this on my live yesterday, but my second point of the day is, we're so quick to cancel people. This, I think, ties in with my, like, we have such sharp edges, because we kind of live in an individualistic society nowadays. I mean, this is kind of America's fault, but we all, even I realized this a lot about myself. As I was growing up, I kept gravitating towards more individualistic views. Like, I wouldn't care about the society I was in. I wouldn't really give thought to, oh, I'm in this community. For example, in my social psychology class, we learned about this. Like, people in America, the US type of countries, even sometimes Europe, these are very individualistic countries. So it's, especially in the US, it's mostly about, like, if you work hard enough, you will get to where you are. You can just cross people out and just try to get to the top, and you will. Just think about yourself. Think about how you're gonna get ahead. But in more collectivistic cultures like Japan, China, the Middle East, even Turkey, I think they have more of a collectivistic, I think that was right, culture, which is kind of more based on the idea of, oh, what is good for the group? What is good for my community, my country, my family? So, kind of levels, I'm not sure if I'm pulling this up from my ass, but the levels of empathy kind of also differ with what type of culture you're in, and it just shapes who you are as a human being. And I think in more individualistic societies, and because of this focus on individualism and not caring about the people around us anymore, we tend to gravitate to sharper edges in our daily lives. Like, this ties in a way, I think, to the cancellation of female celebrities all the time, and not even just female celebrities in general. Like, first of all, why are we so into their lives? I do not think it's normal to just keep up with these people all the goddamn time. Second of all, this leads to, like, cutting off these people, not just, like, celebrities, but cutting off friends, cutting off family members, just by one mistake. By the way, I'm not saying that you shouldn't cut off someone if they I'm not saying that you should not cut off someone if they've disrespected you in a lot of ways multiple times. But I'm saying it's just been more easy for us with more individualistic personalities to do this, because we are made to believe that that's the only way to live. But we're humans at the end of the day. We thrive in community, we thrive in social settings. Oh my god, what am I getting into? The government. The government wants you to do this. It's like the world operates on you wanting yourself to get better, working on yourself, and not feeling productive when you don't work on yourself. They profit off of this. They profit off of you being a self-improving machine all the time. So when you're a self-improving machine all the time, they don't have to put you in your place because you're already in your place. You're more alone than ever. You don't have community like you used to. And all you're thinking about all the time is how you're going to get to where you want to be alone, without the help of people. Because we have so much propaganda against this. We have so much like saying like, oh, you don't need help from other people. You should learn to do this by yourself, because who's going to be there for you when you're, I don't know, dead? But it's not about that. We do need to rely on people at one time or another. Otherwise, you're just going to be alone forever. I'm not saying rely on people all the time. I am not a dependent person whatsoever. I am actually too independent for my own good sometimes, I think. But at the same time, through this independency, I've realized that I should depend on people. I should care more about the promises I've made my friends or my family or a random person in the street. Like, for example, I used to think a lot like, oh, I don't owe anyone anything. I don't owe my friend to hang out tonight if I'm tired. I don't owe my time to this person that I've promised to give this time to. I now see that that was, in a way, kind of wrong, because you kind of do. I don't want to live in a society where people don't owe anything to each other. Even though I'm tired, that's kind of my problem at the end of the day. If I promised my friend who has not disrespected me in any way to hang out that evening, and they've already planned this, and we've already planned this, I should try my best to be there. Because at the end of the day, this is a planned thing. And me bailing out does not mean that I don't owe shit to anyone. It just means I'm a bad friend. It just means that I was supposed to be there and was not. I'm not talking about like extreme situations where a car hit me and my leg's broken and I can't go. I'm talking about just in general, like, oh, if I'm just too tired and I don't want to go. I used to do that. I'm sorry to all my friends who have witnessed that, but I used to be like that. I used to be like, oh, I don't owe anyone shit. Like, I don't want to go tonight. I'm not going to go. If it's really that bad, like if I really, really don't want to go, I think that could fly a couple times, but not all the time, because I do owe my time to some people. I do owe my friends the privilege of seeing me. I'm not kidding. But you can't live your life without help. Plus helping people, like, it makes friendships. Like, I think a lot of my friendships have gotten stronger and stronger each time I've asked for help, each time I've asked for a favor. And I've had a long time, a lot of periods in my life where I really was really lonely. But I would never, this loneliness leads you to not ask for help even more. It makes me feel like, oh no, I'm alone, like we're not that close, I shouldn't ask this of this person. But no, ever since I've started to ask for help more, I've started to open myself up more. This has led to my friendships growing and becoming deeper, and actually kind of that nice attachment, not the overly dependent attachment, but nice. Please don't take what I'm saying and twist it, okay? I'm not saying to depend on your friends for everything. It's like a balance. Like, you shouldn't over depend and you shouldn't under depend. I shouldn't go to and call my friend or my girlfriend or my significant other every time I start crying, or every time I have a bad day, or every time I need something. That's also going over the border. That's border joke from a Syrian. Oh my god. Anyways, that's also doing too much. You can't over depend on people, because then you can't depend on yourself. But you can't over depend on yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to form meaningful attachments to people. I think that was the best TED Talk I've ever given in my life. Was this how my mom felt every time she listened to me, like, yap on about some weird thing? Anyways, I think I made my point abundantly clear. Other than that, I rediscovered this YouTube channel the other day. I was obsessed with, I don't know if you guys had this experience as well, but I was obsessed with dissociative identity disorder when I was younger. Who else can say that about themselves? If you can, please comment, because I'm so confused. Like the other day, water break. Drink your water. Daily water reminder. By the way, get a bottle of water. Usually I'm not really into recommending or promoting like trends, but I swear to God, ever since I got a water bottle, ever since I got a water bottle, sorry guys, I'm sorry. Ever since I got a bottle for water, I've been drinking so much more water because it's so nice. Like I'm bored, I'm watching something, I'm just like sipping on this shit. And I like it with straws, so guess something like this. I was obsessed with dissociative identity disorder. So one day when I was at the prime and ripe age of 13, I discovered this Dissociative called YouTube channel. I just started watching. And this was reminded to me the other day when me and my girlfriend were watching TikToks and we came across this like other person who claimed to have dissociative identity disorder, but after that I was like, it unlocked a part of my brain and I was like, oh my God, like why at the ripe age of 13 was I doing that much research about a disorder I don't even have? The other day I just started thinking about it over again and I was like, oh my God, what an interesting type of disorder. Like, what do you mean you have an inner world in your head? Like from what I know, by the way, about this disorder, it used to be called multiple personality disorder, and it's when in your childhood you experience a lot of trauma, and that repeated trauma causes your personality to underdevelop. So as you grow as a person who doesn't have this disorder, as you grow, you gain and you develop your own one personality. But people who have dissociative identity disorder, kind of as they grow up, as they endure these different types of traumatic experiences, they just kind of get stumped at one personality and then they develop different personalities. But they don't call this personalities, they call them alters. So they kind of have different alters, and these alters can be different ages, different genders, different sexualities. And guys, don't quote me on this. I'm not a psychologist. I just am trying to explain to you what I know from all the research I've done from when I was 13 and the other day. And these alters they live in your brain, and they call it fronting. So basically kind of think of it as a steering wheel, and you have all these different personalities, alters in your inner world. And these alters can come out and drive that wheel. So I've heard stories of people with this disorder who they're driving and another alter just comes and fronts, and then all of a sudden they drive back to their house because they don't know what's going on, and then another alter comes and they forget what's going on. So people with this disorder usually write notes down for themselves or kind of have reminders on, because imagine it's kind of like having 6 people or 20 people, I don't know. This depends very much on the person and how many alters they have, but imagine having 10 people living in your head, and sometimes they can control the body you're in. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I've never talked that fast in my life. So I think that's super interesting. What do you mean you have an inner world with different people living in it, and all these people are equally as important? By the way, these alters they're there to protect you. They're there to protect that person from the trauma they endured. So basically the brain can't handle that trauma that happened at a really young age. This is usually between the ages 7 and 9. I'm not quite sure, but it's around that time. So when children that age endure these types of traumatic experiences, the brain kind of protects them by having dissociative identity disorder. And these alters are there to protect the child, because otherwise the brain couldn't handle the trauma that this child would have experienced. So yeah, if you want to hear more about this, by the way, I can make a whole video because I'm really interested in this disorder. So please, if you have heard anyone have the ID, that's for a dissociative identity disorder, please comment down. Tell me if I was right. If I was wrong, I'm sorry. I tried to do my research, but yeah, I think that's it for the episode. I've been recording for a long time, but I'll see you in the next one. It's every week on the weekend. I really don't have a specific day, but subscribe. And my song's coming out on the 18th of July. It's called SEFERINDE. It's in Turkish, but it's kind of also in English, so please keep up. Link in my bio, follow, and yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for listening every week. And conversations with friends and the voices in your head. Do 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 do.